Good evening and welcome to the Cancer Pathways It's Always Something virtual fashion show and gala. My name is Matt Lorch and I am so incredibly honored to be back as your auctioneer for this important event. You know, we were planning to get together in a big ballroom in downtown Seattle and cheer on and support our models, our cancer survivors, who walk in our fashion show with such style and courage. It is always so magical. Unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, we can't gather right now. But with that said, we are still coming together. We're just doing it from our own homes and gathering online. So let's get to it and send it over to one of my favorite people in the world, the remarkable and dedicated Executive Director of Cancer Pathways, Anna Gottlieb. Anna, can I get a big air hug?
Absolutely. Ugh. I can't believe we're hugging through a screen, but it's always something, isn't it? Welcome to our very first virtual gala, and look at some of our friends joining us tonight.
Hi.
Wow, we are so happy they joined us and you joined us to celebrate cancer survivors in our community and to learn more about the work Cancer Pathways is doing to support their families and others. We know this has been a difficult time for all of us, but unfortunately, cancer does not care about a pandemic. We want you to know that we are still here and still working every day to make sure that we are meeting the needs of our community facing cancer together. And now to introduce our models is someone who has been by our side from the very beginning. She is smart, witty, generous, and has been a wonderful friend to me and to Cancer Pathways. And she knows this journey because she too is a cancer survivor. Welcome back, Michelle Millman, morning news anchor from Cairo 7. Michelle, here's a hug for you.
Back at you, Anna. Big air hug to you, and thank you for those kind words. You are too sweet. I adore you as well, and Cancer Pathways, of course. I know we all wanted to be together this year. I am also aware the show must go on because this work being performed by Cancer Pathways is so important. And for me, being a part of this is deeply personal. I became involved more than 10 years ago, just after I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I still remember so clearly visiting the clubhouse on Capitol Hill just after my diagnosis. It was only a few weeks after. And immediately I felt a connection to the cause, the amazing volunteers, and of course, Anna and her vision. I've modeled not once, but twice in this show, and I'm still not sure how Anna talked me into getting on the runway that second time, but she did. I've emceed this fashion show for years now, and I'll tell you, I would not miss it. It is truly remarkable, as are all of the models every single year. They are so inspirational. Speaking of which, I want to get to our first group of models. For the first time this year, all of our models are children. These are survivors whose smiles will brighten your mood and whose stories of courage and strength while facing cancer remind us all about the power of perseverance. Let's start off with Landon Zevenbergen. This adorable 8-year-old has a twin brother named Carter. They don't look alike, but share the same passion for video games, superheroes, and board games. And look how dashing he is in his suit. Landon also has a 10-year-old sister named Paige, and they live with both parents and an aging dog. He also has a loving extended family he enjoys spending time with. Landon wants to be a police officer when he grows up, so he is perfecting his surveillance technique right there. Landon was diagnosed with medulloblastoma 3 years ago. After his initial brain surgery, he was unable to speak for several months. He's regained his ability to laugh and smile after about a month, so every morning his team came prepared to make his sessions full of fun to try to see him laugh or smile, and what a smile he has. Cancer has changed his family's life in so many ways. Experiences and memories have become the most important things to them, and they want to make the most of every opportunity they get. They also know right now to appreciate small accomplishments, and having the entire family together is so important. Landon's family is grateful for the kindness their community showed for one of their own by providing food, childcare, and other resources during Landon's treatment. What a cutie, and you are a natural. Love it. Now meet Haley Branton. Haley was diagnosed with a rare condition that meant she had 2 types of leukemia cells at the same time. She was first diagnosed when she was 6 and relapsed when she was 9. She had a bone marrow transplant on August 21st, 2017. Her little brother, Jalen, was her donor. That was the day of the solar eclipse, which her family says is a sign of good luck. Haley is currently 12 years old, and isn't she courageous? Haley likes singing, drawing, playing the saxophone, and doing cool sports like swimming, basketball, and volleyball. She's a natural, too, on the runway. Haley's family means the world to her. She has made many new friends, like Hannah, who has supported her every step of the way. Now Haley is supporting Hannah during her cancer relapse. Due to cancer, she's had experiences that she would not have had otherwise, but she would give it all back to not have had cancer. She says she missed out on so much during her treatments, and now that she's healthy, she'd like to experience everything life has to offer. Her favorite motto is, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. With that attitude, Haley, we know you can do whatever you set your mind to. Look at her go. Beautiful. Love it. Wow. And could this guy be any cuter? Look at 5-year-old Alexander Logan. Alex was diagnosed with high-risk leukemia when he was 18 months old. He was in treatment for 3 years and finished just a few months ago. Look how dapper he is in that new suit and red tie. The family's outlook on life changed with Alex's diagnosis. It was hard on all of them, but they came out stronger and they saw what a fighter Alex is. He lives with his mom, dad, and older brother, Daryl. And let's not forget his cat, Andre. They lived at the Ronald McDonald House for a few years as his entire family made wonderful lifelong friends there. Mom says other families become extensions of your own, and it was great having others just to talk with. Mom reminds us not to forget the siblings and to work closely with your spouse. She wants to tell all parents they are not alone, and not everything will be perfect. Now this family will be helping other families. Look at him go. Alex starts kindergarten this year and is excited. He's become addicted to his iPad during the pandemic. Like most of us, loves dancing, monster trucks, and Hot Wheels. He also plays a lot with Daryl, and they get really silly. Look at him go on the red carpet. There they are playing. Wow. Modeling, it really could be exhausting, isn't it, Alex? Good job.
Aren't they just precious? What an inspirational and adorable first group of models. And we have 6 more kids ready to strut their stuff coming up. For 22 years, we've been holding this event so that Cancer Pathways can provide critical education and support services to families touched by cancer. But we can't do that important work without you. So please, go to cancerpathways.org and make your donation. And Matt, I know you and Michelle work in news, and I understand we have some really exciting breaking news coming into our virtual event.
Anna, this is the absolute best kind of breaking news we could ever receive. Thanks to many of our generous donors and sponsors, we have a $100,000 challenge match right now, meaning the first $100,000 donated will be matched, dollar for dollar. Your $5,000 donation becomes $10,000. $1,000 donation becomes $2,000, doubling our impact for families facing cancer. Those families cannot do it alone, and we cannot support them without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and go to cancerpathways.org to donate. Now let's provide you a little more inspiration. Here's Michelle Millman again with 3 more of our amazing young cancer survivors.
And now there's 6-year-old Kalina Muley. She was diagnosed with leukemia at just 3 years old. She enjoys playing t-ball, singing, dancing, art, and camping in her family's new travel trailer. And look how elegant she is. Kalina looks forward to school every day with a smile on her face, ready to learn and play with her friends. School is one of the little social butterfly's biggest joys in life. And didn't we say she loves to dance? There she goes. Her sister Gracie was only a month old when Kalina was diagnosed, but she was always nearby. It was important that her family was together for every appointment because they knew that together they could conquer all obstacles. Her family no longer takes things for granted, and they cherish the little things in life. Cancer has shown them that memories are so much more important than things. Kalina's family will forever be grateful and blessed to have had the support from family, friends, organizations, and especially Camp Side by Side, which was a huge source of comfort during some dark times. Their relationship with volunteers and other families will forever have a special place in their hearts. Kalina's favorite song throughout her cancer journey was the Fight Song by Rachel Platt. And me too, Kalina. Well, you sure put up a good fight, and you look so gorgeous walking that runway. You are a natural. Great job. Next up to the runway, here's Rowan Ruth, a fearless and curious 9-year-old boy who was diagnosed with leukemia February of 2018. What a smile there. Rowan lives with his 2 older siblings, Grant and Ren, and his parents, Drew and Francine. Mom says their family is built on love and play with a work hard, play hard mentality. They want their kids to wander the world in their fullest selves. They love being outdoors together and also enjoy any activity they can do together, including photography, art, music, cooking, eating, traveling, and how about snuggling together on the couch for a good movie. And they love meeting new people. Sounds like a very active and fun family. And I told you he was fun. There he goes. Although cancer made Rowan worry about getting hurt and fearful of what each day would bring, he is really active. In the hospital, he needed an outlet to play, so he and his family would race through the halls on the trikes and bikes offered for patients. Best part was racing family and staff around the fountain outside on sunny days. I bet they all remember you fondly, Rowan, for sure. Rowan's mom says their family is very close, but cancer brought them even closer. It allowed them to delve into emotional insecurities and also solidified their desire to live every day to the fullest, finding beauty in life's simple pleasures. Really a good lesson for all of us. Thank you, Rowan. You look so great, and I love that bow tie. Now here comes Lourdes Esther Torres, also known as Ellie. Ellie is 7 years old now and was diagnosed with leukemia in 2016 when she was just 3. Wow, you look so chic. She says her family is very nice. They always tried to make her cancer experience fun and adventurous. She likes being outside with her brother and sisters and enjoys playing board games with the family. She and her sisters are always creating new things to do. Sounds like an active and creative family. Ellie says her cancer gave her a unique view of death and dying. She says she remembers life with cancer and life after cancer. At the end of her cancer treatment, she was afraid to stop taking her medicine because she knew her chemo medicine kept the cancer away and kept her alive. She worried about what would happen when she stopped. Are you sure you're only 7, Ellie? Wow. She got to visit a doctor who explained it to her and helped her understand and let go of her concerns. Look, you just have another beautiful dress now. Wow, look at her spin. Ellie understands that not all kids her age understand the concept of death like she does because of her experiences, and she believes this makes her unique. You sure are unique, and you look beautiful in all of your outfits, Ellie. Looking great. One last spin there. She's got this.
Wow. I am a father. These kids are so incredible and so adorable. And we have 3 more survivors coming up. Once again, help us support more kids like the ones you're seeing here, more adults facing cancer and their families by going to cancerpathways.org. Anna, remember that time you asked me to judge our teen essay writing contest, where kids who have cancer or who have been touched by cancer share their stories? I cried with every essay, but it was so incredibly moving.
Matt, all the stories are heart-wrenching and inspirational at the same time. Our National Teen Writing Contest is growing and expanding. We learned so much from our teen writers over the years. We've collected over 5,000 essays, and it's now a national contest, and we have essays from every state. Here is one of our winners from last year, 17-year-old Ethan Crawford.
Hello, my name is Ethan Crawford, and I'm going to be reading my essay, A Father Figure, about my dad, Peter Crawford, and his battle with non-small cell carcinoma. My father passed away from cancer when I was 9. I know their next words after this statement. I'm so sorry. Why? Because the thought of a 9-year-old boy crying himself to sleep for months makes you feel sympathy? Or that you know me now and I just blindsided you with an 8-wheeler of emotional weight? And if I were to ask why you are so sorry, how would you respond? I'm so sorry is what I hear from friends, family, teachers, and counselors, from everyone when they learn enough about me to get to Peter and his struggle with non-small cell carcinoma. My father was not perfect. No one is, and it would be shameful to uptalk him, so I will be truthful. He poured his love into our family, his passion into his work, and imagination into his children. My sister and I replicate him. We are pieces of him. No one is perfect, but he passed on the pieces he deemed most pure to his children. When I was 2, I learned how to swim. At 3, how to care for others through my newborn sister, and at 4, how to bike. By the time I was 5, unknown to me or my father, I only had 4 years left. 4 years to be molded into a well-rounded human being. Packing up, our family left Spokane and moved to Redding, California. He always dreamt of this town to pursue his love for cacti, which later scattered our yard in beautiful desert displays. Cancer does not end life. It just expedites the process. Through this struggle, my father broke down faster than he would have intended. He didn't have a lifetime to pass on wisdom, energy, and love to me. He had less than a year. Parents grow old and watch their children grow up. He did not get to see me grow up. He was 5 years from me learning to drive, 9 from me graduating high school, and 12 years from being able to sit down and sip a beer and talk about life. 9 years with my dad, 9 years without. I've learned more in the last 9 than the first. He raised me in the first. He gave me a foundation to start my life. And then the last 9 has been used to learn who he was. This isn't a happy story, and I'm not happy my father had the life sucked away from him. I grieve every time I hear his name, but before leaving, he lived. That was his job, to live in the moment so that I could remember him for an eternity. Why do stories of cancer leave somber tones? They should be celebrated. Stories of survivors, of heroes and heroines, stories of fighters, of family members, people who could not make it to where we are today just because they were paving the way. Not just medically, not just in new breakthroughs in medication or cancer treatments, but the people around them. My father not only fought, not only helped further cancer treatments, not only molded me to who I am, he lived. I could say I'm broken, that losing him was like losing a piece of myself. But that's not true. Things that are broken stay broken because they are not useful. His death affected me. I'd be lying saying it didn't. I was sad, full of anger, and empty. The main point is that as a past tense verb, was. Instead of sadness, I bear joy. Joy that a man who was so strong, loving, and lively raised me. Instead of anger, I bear peace. Peace knowing that my father is not in pain, that my father's death was not in vain, and that it was used to further knowledge. Instead of emptiness, I am content. Content with where I am in life and how I got here.
Ethan, thank you for writing and sharing your family's story. During the pandemic, we have worked even harder to support kids like Ethan who have a family member facing cancer or lose a loved one to cancer. Thanks to our dedicated board, our passionate staff, our fabulous Gala committee, and our incredible supporters like you, we have put our groups, classes, and lectures online. We're still here and we're staying here. And even during the pandemic, we continue to find ways to lift up families. We've had 5 virtual camps this summer with hundreds of kids and families, all touched by cancer. They know they are not alone. And we are still educating students in high schools about cancer. We've already reached 100,000 students in this country, and we're just getting started. With that said, I'm going to send it back to Michelle with our final group of survivors. 3 more amazing kids.
Now let's welcome 12-year-old Noah Ferguson to the show. Noah lives with his mom, dad, and sister Lydia, but says the best member of his family is their dog Ava. In 2015, Noah was diagnosed with leukemia. He had a bone marrow transplant. Just look at that smile after all that. One of his favorite memories was in the hospital after his first month of treatment. It was December, and his white blood cells were not being cooperative. They didn't think he would be able to go home for Christmas, but on Christmas Eve, his oncologist came into his room and asked his mom if their house was clean. Okay, what a question. When she said yes, the good news came. They let Noah go home on Christmas Eve. The nurses thought the doctor was a little crazy to send him home. He says it was really cool. I bet that was a very special Christmas. Noah likes jumping on the trampoline and playing Minecraft with his sister. His favorite subject in school is band, where he plays the trumpet. You go, Noah. He also enjoys reading and science, Dungeons and Dragons, dogs, and YouTube. Noah, you are very well versed in a lot of things. When asked how cancer changed his life, Noah says he almost died, so he looks at things differently now. His favorite quote is, "We do hard things." Well, you look fantastic. Thank you for walking the runway, Noah. You are a natural and looking good. Well, look at this gorgeous young lady. This is 12-year-old Audrey Lafono. It all started in 2016 when Audrey was 8 years old. She was first diagnosed with something called MDS, which is a cancer that involves abnormal production of blood cells in your bone marrow. Then, 2 years later, she relapsed with leukemia. It's hard to believe looking at her today and that smile. You are so beautiful. This young lady likes to journal, ride her bike, and swim. She and her family love adventures and hanging out with friends for cookouts. She says cancer has made her appreciate life more because she says you never know what's going to happen. Boy, isn't that the truth? You are so right, Audrey. Look at that, striking a pose. And you know what? Something big did happen to her. She got to meet Sierra and Russell Wilson and do the Level Up dance together. Sierra gave her an autographed picture and Russell gave her a pink autographed football. Cool. Does it get any better than that? Audrey and her family love going to church, and her favorite quote is, "With God, all things are possible." Audrey, you look incredible on the runway, and you are doing great. One more pose there. Wow, looking good. Thank you so much. I love that dress. Woo, like the attitude. She's got it. Now, we do want to welcome to our stage tonight our last little model. Here's a boy who knows how to work a runway, 7-year-old Atticus Cunningham. In 2016, when Atticus was 3 years old, he was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer that forms in the soft tissue. It has a very long name. I'm going to give it a try here. Rhabdomyosarcoma. That is a mouthful at any age. You are looking so much at a fun, loving boy. Can't you tell? He lives in a house in the woods on a lake with his mom and dad and his little brother, Barron, who's 4. Oh, and we can't forget his dog, Rocket. Boy, does that house sound wonderful. Atticus says a good thing about cancer is that he got to meet a lot of good friends at camp. Look at him go. He has a wide range of interests, including science, Legos, dinosaurs, nature, Minecraft, Pokemon, art, and adventure. Boy, you're busy, we can tell. Get this, he also tells us he has a strong interest in being the person to find Bigfoot and has started a club called Sasquatch Hunters Club. I went on that club. Let us know when you find him, because guess what? We'll put you on Cairo 7, Atticus. I promise. You look so handsome on the runway, and we are really enjoying those dance moves. Man, you have boundless energy. Just incredible. Thank you. You look so great, Atticus. Love it. Thank you to all of our amazing models. You are fantastic.
Another big thank you to all 9 of our models this year. We are so proud of them. What a show. Those of you who've been around long enough know we used to be called Gilda's Club, named after comedian Gilda Radner, who died of cancer in 1989. And Gilda's brother, Michael Radner, has a special message for all of us.
Hello, I'm Michael Radner. I am a believer and a supporter of Cancer Pathways. When Gilda was dealing with her cancer, she found a place that offered social and emotional support. Well, it made such a difference in her life that she wished that anybody dealing with cancer could find that kind of social and emotional support. Well, Cancer Pathways fills that bill. And by the way, from Cancer Pathways, you don't get a bill. But free is very expensive. That's why your support is so important. It makes a big difference to so many, many people. But the main thing is keep supporting it, keep knowing that it's there for people who need it, and not only today and in this event, support it throughout the year.
Thank you, Michael. You know, he's right. Your support is incredibly important. A reminder, if you work at a company that matches your donation, Microsoft, Boeing, Starbucks, the Gates Foundation, to name a few, go to them, tell them about your generosity, and we can double our impact. Yes, it is always something, but you are something special for spending this time with us and wanting to provide social, emotional, and educational support for families facing cancer. From Anna, Michelle, and all of the good people at Cancer Pathways, thank you for watching, and thank you for making a difference.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.